Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Deep Ball, Keenan, Curran, Samuel Akem. We got a very, very special guest with us, Yale starting quarterback, Mr. Dante Reno. How are you doing, my man?
I'm doing great. Doing great. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you for coming on, man. I did hear. So one of my the owner of Skyline Sports, who I work with, says that Yale doesn't really do media a lot. So I'm very, very grateful for your time, man. Like I heard that like it was hard getting you guys to do media before the Montana State game. So I'm grateful, man.
Yeah,
I'm grateful for
yeah,
bringing you on, man.
yeah. No problem. Thanks for having me. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I would
So
say probably
go
our
ahead.
our smartest or Ivy League guest. This is our first Ivy League guest, so
Yeah,
I'm pumped about that, man. I love the
yeah,
Ivy.
yeah. Glad to get us started.
So how has your summer been so far? Obviously, we've been juggling for a few weeks trying to get you on. How's it been for you, man?
It's been great. Obviously, you have the most of the guys here and working out, throwing all that stuff. They got camps, so we all go and work the camps,
Yeah, right.
hanging outside of football. So it's been great. OVs. It's been a normal summer for us as a team, and it's been awesome to be around the guys. This is the best part of football is in the summer. You're not really doing too much with school. It's none of the people are here on campus, obviously, so it's just the guys
Yeah.
hanging out. So it's awesome.
So Yale is in Connecticut, correct?
Yeah, it is.
What is a Connecticut summer like?
It's it's hot and humid.
Okay. Okay.
It rains a good bit, but obviously there's ocean and you have lakes and you have mountains and everything you guys obviously have out there as well. So it's pretty calm, pretty chill. The pizza's really good. It's the pizza capital of the world, so a lot of good
Okay.
food places out here. So yeah, we have a good time.
Nice.
I'd imagine that's why Barstool is like
Yeah,
does the thing for the East Coast,
Northeast.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. The East Coast has got its own vibe.
yeah.
I very much enjoy it.
I haven't spent a ton of time in the Northeast. I've only been to Baltimore. I've never been above Baltimore.
You should come.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
that's not. Yeah, I don't even know if that's calling it East Coast. You know, you got to
You
go to
gotta
like
come like
New York.
yeah,
You
New
got to go to
York,
Philly.
Boston, Philly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's talk about how you got here today. Coming out of high school, you had offers from all over the country. What was the moment you realized major programs viewed you as a legitimate Power Four quarterback?
Yeah, so out of high school, I played at Loomis Chaffee, which is a prep school of here in Connecticut. I played for head coach Jeff Moore, who's the head coach at Tabor Academy now.
Okay.
I had a bunch of offers my freshman going to sophomore year and kind of blew up that area of my career going into my junior year. Committed to South Carolina my sophomore year. I think I ended with like 35 or 40 something Power 5 offers. Um, did the Elite 11 camp or Elite 11 finals, Under Armour All American game, all that stuff. Went to South Carolina, loved it. Loved my experience there. I met a bunch of great people. Some of my best friends are still there playing now and have graduated and with the coaching staff. Coach Beamer that was there and the guy who recruited me, Marcus Satterfield, he's at Nebraska now. He was the OC, he's a tight ends coach. Dow Loggins, who was in the league for like 30 plus years. He's a head coach at App State now. He was also a coordinator at South Carolina. And then Mike Shula, who was our last offense coordinator at South Carolina. He's with either Michigan or he's at Minnesota, one of those two schools. So I met a lot of great coaches, learned a lot of football there. And it was SEC is different. It was really fun.
That's dope.
So my question, you mentioned it, the SEC is different. What have you noticed since being at Yale in the FCS what has been the biggest differences you've noticed from South Carolina and the SEC to now being at Yale and Ivy?
The fan base is one.
Okay.
It's just those people. They breed football. They love football. They were great to me coming from the Northeast. Obviously, I think I was one of like two kids on the team that were from the Northeast going down there.
Everybody's from the South down there, huh?
Yeah, everybody South. So it was awesome to go down there and compete and just learn what culture's like is down there, like football wise, and what it takes to play at that level. Whether it's conditioning and food and facilities and OTAs. I mean, we did so much work, football stuff, all the time. It's a job, and it's what you have to do all day. And I think that's the biggest thing I learned when I was down there is how to manage my time and just learn as much football as I possibly could.
Yeah. So you mentioned that it's hot and humid in Connecticut. What is the heat and humidity like down there in South Carolina?
There ain't nothing like it. Like it would be like they have wet bulb. They say like you can't practice out there with a wet bulb because it's too hot. Like so, there is none.
Man.
But yeah, it was awesome. Like we had during camp, like we would break off halfway through camp and go sit in like these big like trailers of coolers because it was so
yeah.
hot. So like you have to like cool down to be able to practice the second half of the day. So it was awesome. It was really cool.
Oh yeah.
Did you have a favorite stadium that you went to when you were down there in the SEC?
Favorite stadium, I would say Clemson was really cool. That's
People aren't gonna like to hear that little rival.
Yeah, South Carolina was the rival. We beat them when we were there, so it was obviously a way better experience for us going out there. But it was super loud. But the best stadium that I've ever been in is Williams-Brice, South Carolina home stadium. Okay. It's loud. They're saying is like if it ain't swaying, we ain't playing. Like the rafters up at the top. So it was super loud. 85,000 people screaming. Night games were electric. So I would say that was the best home stadium, obviously, that we've been at. It was awesome.
Crazy. That's dope, man. That's awesome.
So you talk about being an Elite 11 quarterback, and like obviously everybody who knows anything about high school recruiting and high school football, like that is like the elite of the elite coming out of high school. What did those experiences teach you, about quarterback play and just all of that?
I just think how like meticulous it, like how should I put this? There's so much more to the game than throwing. And I think being at those camps and being with all those coaches at Elite 11 and being with the other guys like Rayola and Julian Sayin and CJ Carr, like those are all kids in my class that we were there together. So being with those kids, just learning from them as well. Like you go out there with your throwing and you're in the group with all of them and you're talking and you're learning what they do, what they're thinking. So I think it's just like, as high school kids growing up, like that everybody's dream was to go do that. And we were all there doing it. And I think for me, just learning leadership wise, culturally wise, within a football team, how to be a good player, good quarterback. It was all things that I took from that experience that were just memorable to me.
That's awesome.
Man, I got one that's kind of, and we'll probably talk about it a little bit more later, but do you feel like, or at what point did you feel like being the son of a football coach helped you in your development where like maybe you were more developed earlier than a lot of guys?
Yeah, I think growing up, obviously the son of a coach, you don't really want to, like growing up as a little kid, you don't want to listen to dad. Like dad doesn't know, like you think you know everything. So I think growing up for like 7th to 8th grade, I kind of started to realize, and once I got to freshman year, and I was kind of ahead of the curve, whether it was like film room wise or just maturity wise, like handling my own business, handling school, not being late for stuff. I think that's where it really helped me mature faster than other people, being son of a coach. And then obviously just playing with him last year was the best thing ever. So it was great.
Yeah. And I'd imagine you obviously want to play football, right? And you're a heck of a talent. Is that something that down the line, we'll say you have a 10-year, 15-year career in the NFL, do you have aspirations of one day going back and coaching?
Yeah, 100%. I think you want to stay as close as you can to the game as a player, and obviously as a competitor, you want to play as long as you can. But I think at some point, obviously, everybody's not playing. Like you can't play until you're 60 years old. Like even like Tom Brady, he played until he's old as he could, but you always have to have a backup plan. And I think for me, obviously, coaching is one of those, and it's just in my blood, and it's something that is just like, oh boy, one day I'm gonna obviously want to be a coach. So it's been fun. Yeah.
Nice, man. That's what's up.
So you brought up your father. I bet that last year playing for your dad was pretty special. What was that like, and did that contribute to you wanting to come to Yale when you decided to leave South Carolina?
Yeah, so I think obviously him being here as a head coach was a big factor. But when I was in the portal, like he told me, he's like, go do your visits, go take visits, go reach out to like schools reaching out to you, like hit them back, call them. Like believe me, I had a bunch of places I could have went to, whether it's Power 5 or went and go play somewhere. But I think the biggest factor for me was I'd never played for him before, and that was my first time. He didn't coach me when I was a kid. Like his goal was like when you're a kid, like go learn from somebody else, like go get coached by other people because you never know what can happen. And also he wanted me to grow as a human being. So I think that was one of the best things he ever did for me. So last year was like my first actual year, like playing for him and playing under him. And it was great. Like it was awesome. So many memories. We had the greatest season ever in Yale football history.
Yeah.
So it was awesome. But yeah, I think that's the biggest things I learned from playing with him last year.
Wow, that's
dude,
special.
that like gives me goosebumps. But I could imagine if you're speaking about the memories on your end, I could only imagine what your dad feels. right?
yeah.
Like, and he can't really say it because he's your dad and you're the quarterback of the
Yeah.
team. But man, I know one day when you guys are sitting having a beer later on in life, that's going to be a really cool story this last season that you guys had.
100%.
Looking back, what is the biggest misconception fans have about quarterback recruiting?
I think the hardest thing for quarterback recruiting is most kids think that you're going to a school and you think that you're just going to start. Like, that's the hardest thing to do in college football is play as a true freshman. And all the guys that do it, like I commit, like they're good players. Like I give them so much like grace. Like, dude, they're doing something that's so hard. Like, first of all, you got to go into a whole new system. You got to learn the system. You got weight training. You got school. You got class. Like, there's so much other stuff that people.
Why the hell
realize.
should we respect you? We've been here
Yeah.
for 3-4 years. Why should we respect you?
Exactly, literally, like especially the older guy too. Like we've been there, put in the work. Like especially it's their time to play. Like it's hard to play as a true freshman. I think that's the biggest thing that quarterbacks and people don't realize that it's hard. Like you got to go somewhere and develop first, or go somewhere where you know you can play, and it's a hard thing to balance, I'd say.
So what do you think about, talk about your development curve from going to South Carolina to coming to Yale? And you started, correct me if I'm wrong, you started your first year at Yale, correct?
Yeah, so I redshirted. So I redshirted my true freshman year at South Carolina.
Okay.
So I did that whole year there. I enrolled early in that January of 24, I think it was. Did the whole year there. Transferred that the next spring. So I did a whole year and a half basically there. And then I transferred to Yale obviously this past year and started as my redshirt freshman year.
Okay.
So yeah, it was South Carolina. Was just learned a lot, dude. Learned football, maturity wise, learn how to watch film because when people put on film, it's just like sometimes you have no idea what you're watching. Like the plays are up there and it's like you gotta break up film like differently, like first down, second down, third down, coverages, blitzes, red zone, hot zone, like coming out, going in. Like there's so much different ways to watch film and people don't realize that. I think I really learned that at South Carolina was how to take a game week and how to implement Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Friday, and just all that stuff. So
yeah, absolutely.
Man.
So then you step into Yale, and was it a quarterback battle? Did you win the job? Like, how did that look? Early on in the season.
Yeah, we competed throughout camp. My dad wasn't gonna let me go in, and he's like, "Here, take this." Like, it's not the way that he built the program. That's not the way that it was here. I mean, he didn't. My lucky number was 10. Like my whole life, I wore 10 my whole career. I got here, I was in number 2. Like he was like, bro, he's like, this isn't how it's gonna be. So it was like, earn everything, and I'm keeping 2 now. But it's he made me earn it, and then obviously had to earn the right of the teammates as well. And Yale's a big culture. Like he created a culture here that is lasting, and dudes don't leave here. They don't transfer out. Like obviously now the kids will with NIL after they graduate, but we don't have kids coming in and out and just leaving after 1 year. Like kids stay here and develop and play their 3rd and 4th year, then go get paid somewhere else.
Yeah.
So I think winning the team over was a big thing for me. And then we kind of hit our stride halfway through the season. Then, the rest is history.
Man, that is that's super cool. And I just wanted to make a point on your talking about film study a little bit because that's a really big thing. I'm a high school coach. I'm the offense coordinator now, which is crazy that they let me do that. I coach the quarterbacks, and it's like always trying to get them to see the game on tape first, right? And be able to break down coverages on tape. It slows down the game for you in your process. But I also had a guy early on in my playing career that went to the NFL and came back, and he was talking about how Luke Kuechly studied film. And he was like, dude, he played with him, and he was like, he studies like second down this day, third down this day, third and short this day. And it was just, I think more guys, especially quarterbacks, have to have that approach. Like, hey, I'm going to break down the week into these sections to really get the most out of it. So thank you for speaking on that. I think if anybody's watching this that's a young quarterback, that's one thing they can take from it. What's one thing people assume about playing for your father that is completely wrong?
I think people think it's easy. Like it's the hardest thing ever. Like hearing him coach you, because everybody thinks that he coaches you different than other kids. That's not true at all. Like he coaches me the same way he coaches the DBs. Like, and he's a defensive guy too. So it's like he'll go at me like all day. And last year he would just go at me and I'd practice all the time. Just the defense had a good day and I threw a pick or something like that. Like that's just the way he is, and we're both competitors. But at the end of the day, it's like you go back home and we're sitting there talking. It's like we're not talking about football. Like it's just family at that point. So kind of we learned last year to leave the football stuff at the facility and leave the at home stuff at home.
So did you stay at home? Were you living at home?
Nah, so I'm in my apartment right now. I have an apartment in New Haven, Connecticut. Okay. Yeah, so
you gotta get that disconnect from the fam.
Yeah, you gotta get out of there somehow.
Ain't no way. Not as like a college guy that you've experienced freedom, and then you're going back not only to play for your dad, but you're like, yeah, I'm gonna be under the same roof. No way, no way.
How much did the Ivy League's decision to participate in the FCS playoffs impact your decision to go to the Ivy League? Because in the past, like, you know, we could have a great season. We might go 10-0. We are the best. We feel like we're one of the best in the country, but we may not be able to prove that. This year, you guys got the opportunity to prove that, hey, we absolutely belong.
Yeah. I think it was I wouldn't say it's 50% of why I came here, but it's a big part because obviously at a Power 5 FC, like those levels, like you play like longer than your season if you're good. So like in South Carolina, obviously we played a bowl game. Like we were the last team to make the playoffs that year I was there. Obviously like the bigger schools like Montana State, North Dakota State that used to be in the FCS, like they keep playing. So I think last year when I was transferring, that was a big reason. Like, hey, why not come here and try and do something I'd never done before? And then we got to Youngstown State first half. And we were like, oh my boy,
this is different.
Like this is different because we had played 10 weeks straight in the Ivy League. We don't have a bye.
Yeah, right.
So that was our 11th week straight. And then we had just won the championship. We were so like up here. And in the first half, it was like, oh boy, these dudes came out to play. And then we kind of toned it down a little bit in the second half and played well. And then ended up winning that game. And then went to Montana State. And that was our 12th game in a row we had played.
Yeah.
Went out there and gave it our all, but they were good too.
And you guys gave them everything they could handle. That was their toughest game of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were,
outside of maybe the national championship, maybe.
Yeah, they were. We were talking to a bunch of their guys after the game, and they're like, dude, it was like, we did not expect that. And we knew coming in the game, we weren't picked to win, obviously. And we had a lot of guys that obviously weren't not big names around the country. So we came in and played our hardest, but a couple things didn't go our way that game. But yeah, they're a great team, and they got a lot of guys coming back too. So it'll be good.
Take us back to that Youngstown State game, because I remember watching that game. And, you know, Harvard is steady getting worked out by Villanova. Then you see Yale, and people are like, this is why the Ivies were playing in the playoffs, you know. And then the second half, you guys come back and just chop and chop and chop, and Pittsburgh is going crazy. Santiago's I mean, you guys just started making plays, man. Yeah. What was the conversation at halftime when I think you guys were down 28-7, I think was the score at that time? What was the conversation 35. At that time? Oh gosh. Okay. 35-7. What was the conversation at that time?
Bro, at halftime we went in and I was looking at a couple of our old linemen and I was like, dude, we got the ball first at a half. So like if we just go score like 35-14, whatever, midway through the third quarter. So we go down, we get the ball back first, we go down and score. We're like, all right, boom, we're back in it. They get the ball. They go right down. I think Brummaker throws like a 40-yard touchdown or something like that. They get the ball, score right away. So it's 14-42 with like 9 minutes left in the third quarter. And our goal was just to keep scoring. Like, if we got the ball back, we had to score. Like, we don't have a choice. Yeah. So we got the ball back again, scored. I think they turned it over. We got it again, scored. We got to stop. Then we scored again. And I think that last drive, we got Pitts. That's when Pitts had his crazy run to win.
Like 60 yards or something.
Yeah. It's literally just like our motto here is like one play warriors. And I think we really stuck to that throughout the whole game is like whatever happened in the first half, like that's done. Like the way we want to be remembered as like the first team at Yale football to make the playoffs wasn't the way that it went in the first half. And we were like, we'd rather like lose by 2 than lose this way that we're losing right now. So why not like, go out there and like throw punches?
We're not going to go out like the Crimson.
Yeah, we went on the bus after the game, and a couple of my kids I know played there, and people were following the game, and they were texting. They're like, "Dude, like this." I saw some screenshots like us at halftime, and then at halftime. Yeah, and I was like, "Boy, I did not know they were getting beat that bad too." But yeah, it was just crazy timing, and we battled back and won.
Wow, that's phenomenal. That's phenomenal.
Man, that's dope though. That's dope that you guys had that experience. And obviously,
let me ask one more question about that. I lost my train of thought, but so the defense, my mind, this is Bo Brungard. This dude won the freaking Walter Payton. He is the best. If you got him on your team, you don't really need a lot else. He can do a lot. Yeah. 27 rushing touchdowns, a ton of passing touchdowns, a ton of passing yards. I mean, he is the offense, man. How was your defense able to string 42 points? They only scored 1 touchdown in the second half. What was the message to the defense?
I think the defense was just part of the defense. Why they're on the field so much was because of us. Like we kept getting off the field on like 3-play drives. Like they had a DN who's really good, number 3. One of the linebackers was really good, number 5. Like they had a bunch of good players. Dathan Hickey, who's number 11, he used to play at Yale. Like they had a bunch of guys that were older and have been there before and were grad students. So we kind of were, as a younger team, we have a lot of guys coming back this year. We were just like trying to figure it out in the first half. Like, dude, it was freezing. We had just played, we won a championship. We went up there in the first half and just didn't have what we needed. And then we figured it out in the second half. But I think a defense, kudos to them. Like I don't think Youngstown State changed up a lot. And our defense, they switched and they did a bunch of stuff that we had been doing all season, but changed some stuff up and they played well. And we kind of just played off each other. Like we scored, they got to stop. We scored, they got to stop. Turnover, we scored. Like
then the momentum just starts rolling.
Yeah. And then we went for it on like 3 4th downs and converted, I think, all of them. Like it was just everything was going right in the second half.
So that was phenomenal. Next week, you play the eventual national champions, but what did that game, when you look back on it, obviously in the moment, nobody maybe knew. I mean, they were the favorites, but I don't think anybody necessarily knew they were going to for sure win the national championship. Seeing that they won the national championship, and you guys played them very, very close. I think the final score was 21-13, if I'm not mistaken. What did that game show you of just how close Yale is?
I think it shows the country that, like, the Ivy League's not far off, or, like, some of the teams are not far off. I think we obviously shocked a lot of people going in there and playing that way. And I don't really think that we shocked any of our guys playing that way too, because at the end of the day, it's football. Like, you're going to go out there and play the game, and anybody can win on any given day. So I think for us going out there, we just went out there and played. And regardless, obviously, we didn't come out the way we wanted to, but we went there and fought. And I think for us recruiting-wise now, people realize, like, all right, these dudes can play. Like, we can recruit the similar kids that these other top schools, the top 5 schools are recruiting in the country. So I think for us, it obviously gives us a lot of confidence going into next season as well.
Man, that's dope. And I know you started to say the Ivy League's not far off, and then you stopped and said Yale's not far off, which, hey, we get what you're saying there. But I want to ask a question about when you're going into the rivalry game against Harvard, nobody was really talking about Yale much. What was your and your team's mindset going into that game? So when you guys played Harvard?
Yeah, the way my dad structured kind of the whole program is every game's like YVY. Like, we could care less, like, who we're playing. Like, it's us versus us. I think that's really what happened against Youngstown as well, is, like, we were just beating ourselves in the first half. Like, I know everybody says it's, like, cliche thing, but it's true. Like, I had, like, 2 turnovers. Like, we broke, like, 3 coverages, busted 3 coverages on defense. Like, it was just little stuff that we were doing that we weren't doing during the year. I think, obviously, playing Harvard, like, Harvard was the favorite. They were 9-0, whatever, 8 in the country. Like, we didn't really care. Like, the problem is, the thing at Yale, we don't worry about who we're playing week 1, week 10. Like, we're not worried about Harvard, our first game of the year. Like, there's some programs that, like, you look towards the end of the year, like, oh my God, we got to get ready for these guys now. It's like, nah, dude, like, you got Holy Cross week 1. Like, you got to worry about them. So I think that's just a different way of the way we look at our program here. It's just kind of taking it game by game, because every game is different as well. So day by day, game by game.
For sure.
Now that you guys have a taste of the playoffs and even went toe-to-toe with the national champs, what will it take for you guys to get back to that point? Obviously, Pitzenberger gone. Brown is gone. I'm sure you guys have lost a little. The other backup running back is gone as well. How do you guys bounce back and get back to that point and even go further?
Yeah, I think it's the biggest thing we had this offseason was kind of we number our team. So 152, team 152 is in the past. Like, we're not worried about that anymore. Like,
yeah, right.
Obviously, those guys aren't coming back this year. So we have guys here that would be just fine. Like, we have a lot of guys here that are going to be ready to play. But I think it's just taking every block the same like we did last year. Just summer's got to be great. We had a great spring. Got to have a good fall camp and just keep taking day by day and chipping away. And not worried about the playoffs and worry about winning a championship, because that stuff all comes. Obviously, that's the end goal, and we're all looking forward to that goal. But I think it just comes in the day-to-day process and being the best you can every single day.
Love that. Love that mindset. Growing up, who was a quarterback that you modeled your game after and enjoyed watching?
Obviously, being from New England, Tom Brady. That's the game. The guy that everybody's like, oh, gosh, like Tom Brady. I think for him, but obviously Aaron Rodgers, the way he throws the ball, the way accurate in RPO game. Like we run a lot of RPOs, so the way he gets the ball out fast. Those two, and then the last guy is Tony Romo. I don't think a lot of guys watch him, but super accurate guy. Obviously not the biggest, not the strongest, not the fastest, but he got the job done at a high level. So just those guys are just a couple.
Absolutely. Nice. To go back on, this upcoming season, who are maybe some guys who people don't know about right now, but they may become very familiar with them in the 2026 season?
Yeah, I think we have a couple receivers that'd be really good. Obviously, people know Jax Santiago a lot, and Lucius Anderson, who played really well in the Youngstown State game. We have most of our O-line are back. They're all true freshmen last year playing against Montana State up there. Yeah, we had 3 of them playing last year, so those guys are back. We have another receiver who'll be really good, Garen, who'll be back, and then a couple of running backs that didn't really play a lot last year because Pitts obviously was a beast.
Yeah.
So 2 or 3 tight ends are back as well. So I think we'll be okay. We just gotta have obviously gel, and we're a different offense this year than we were last year. So obviously we gotta have find those pieces into it, and defensively we got a lot of guys returning, which is great.
That's awesome. Yeah. So how are things kind of changing with your father no longer being the head coach? You guys got Cahill, if I'm not mistaken, from Lehigh. How has that been? Obviously, he was extremely successful at Lehigh. They were 12-1 last year, won the Patriot League. What has it been like with him?
He's been great. He was an assistant offensive coordinator here for my dad for 12 years.
Okay.
So I've known him for my whole life, as long as I can remember. He's been awesome to me. He's a quarterback guy. He loves the kids. He's a coach's player. Like, he truly does get himself involved with the players, and it's really what we need as a team. And he's been great. Obviously coming in here in the spring and having him here in the summer. He's a great dude, great family. His kids are awesome. So I'm super blessed, super excited to have him here. And obviously, what he did at Lehigh was incredible. Like, he turned that program around fast. They were one of, 4 teams that have a bye last year?
8 teams, yeah.
8 teams, yeah. So, I mean, just having that is insane. And being 12-1.
All right, wanted to talk a little bit about some of the difference. Obviously, when everybody thinks Ivy League, they think, like I think, smart kids, right? What were some of the biggest differences that you saw from going from South Carolina, which I don't know much about South Carolina's academic prowess, but like obviously everybody knows about Yale. So what were some of those differences like for you academically?
Yeah, I think obviously the biggest thing from South Carolina to here is just the class sizes. At South Carolina, the classes were huge. Like, we had like 300 kids in a class. Here, you only have like 20. So classes are way smaller here. Yeah, so it's way more like centralized around the students. You learn a lot more, a lot faster here. But at South Carolina, I mean, it's a great school as well. I was a sport management major. I love my major. Like, I met a lot of great people there doing my major as well. But obviously, Yale is Yale, and it's such a prestigious school and university that they take academics very seriously. And coming here, the connections you have for the rest of your life are just like life-changing. So being here has been truly just a blessing for me and my future and career.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you think, and piggybacking on that, so I was I can't remember exactly what they call it, but like there's certain bands, right? You can get kids. Yeah. Everybody thinks you got to be a certain type of kid to get into the Ivy League, and you do have to be smart. But I was like one of the kids that they came out and recruited. They're like, hey, you are smart enough, but you're a good athlete. Do you think it being an Ivy League presents any barriers or challenges from a recruiting standpoint, knowing that like, hey, we have to get the whole kid, not just like the South Florida kid that was chasing rabbits growing up?
Yeah, I think it's obviously a little different because you have to look at SAT scores, ACT scores, and grades really matter as well. So I think it's obviously you have a different radius of what you can recruit, like the type of kid. But at the end of the day, like we're recruiting football kids. Like football, like we want kids that want to play football, and want to be on the team, and want to be here, and want to win games, win championships. I think that's like the biggest misconception that people have about Ivy League teams. So like sometimes it's like, oh, these kids are just going to school to play football and like have fun. Like that's not the way most of these schools are, and if not all of these schools are. Like kids come here to play football, and their dreams and aspirations are the NFL. Like my dad had, I think it was 18 dudes in the NFL, like over his 15 years as a head coach. Wow. Like he's put a lot of guys in the league. A lot of guys have played, and obviously the other guys go out and working on Wall Street, making a lot of money doing that stuff too. So it's really just the best of both worlds. But yeah, I think it's a lot of different ways that people look at Ivy League students.
Dude, and a lot of those guys, like, this is my own bias, but I think because you're having to do such rigorous classes, you have to be a professional to some extent, right? Maybe it's in football, maybe it's in, how you're handling your business in the classroom. But I think those guys make really good NFL players, right? You think of who's the quarterback with the big beard that was in the NFL for a bunch of years? Fitzpatrick, right? You think of the guy, I'm drawing a blank because he plays for the 49ers and I hate them, but Juszczyk, right? You think of guys like
he knows
that.
Them all.
Yeah. Like the Ivy League puts out some really good players, man, and I think it is a credit to like their workload when they're in school. Like, yo, I had to be so dialed that when I just get to focus on football, I know I'll be successful once I leave this, so I can focus on this and be really, really good at it in the NFL and have a long career. So, shout out to the Ivy, man. I'm a big fan.
So at South Carolina, obviously, you're on an athletic scholarship. At Yale, you're on an academic scholarship. In the day-to-day or in the way people treat it, does it feel any different?
No, I mean, obviously, South Carolina, the only thing that was different, like I said earlier, was the fan base. So you go around town and people are like, oh my gosh, like this kid's got a Carolina backpack on, like Carolina football backpack on. So it's a little different. But obviously, the people around Connecticut, they know who you are, know you're a football player. But I think that's all they have down there is SEC schools. That's their whole, that's their pro team. That's their NFL team. Is those SEC schools. So I think that was the difference walking around campus and stuff like that. But here it's similar. We have a great fan base here as well too. So which is very supportive.
Yeah.
What is your favorite Ivy League stadium to play in that you have played in?
Obviously the Yale Bowl, no question. That place we had 60,000? I think that's Harvard this year. Like it was loud.
Dang. Really? 60?
Yeah, if you look up a picture this year, it was wild. ESPN and stuff like that, it was nuts.
Big game, Sam.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys got to come next year. Well, next year it's at Fenway Park, but the year after it's at the Yale Bowl again.
Man, you guys play at Fenway?
Yeah.
Brother, it's the Ivy, man. Football started in the Ivy.
Yeah, so it's that place is awesome. And Princeton also has a really nice stadium too. They have like one of the nicest campuses I think in the world. But yeah, all the Ivy League stadiums got that little niche touches to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yale's got those you guys have like such classic uniforms. And then I always liked Princeton came out and recruited me, and I was like that they kind of got some dope uniforms, man.
Yeah,
like, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Harvard Harvard's kind of they're just classic and boring. Man.
Yeah.
So we keep talking about Harvard and at Montana, obviously you played on Montana State, like that's our rival and we absolutely hate those guys. I mean, I cover the league now, so my hate isn't as strong as Keenan's hate, but I still have a decent level of just disdain for them when I watch them play my Grizzlies. But for you, obviously, what is that Yale Harvard rivalry like? Is it the same? Do you get the same type of vitriol, or what is that like for you guys?
I'd say it's obviously you're growing up. Me being here at Yale, it's like you don't like those guys, obviously, and you want to treat every game the same, but that means a little something more. Because usually at the end of the season, that's for the championship. Usually it's us and them compete for that. But yeah, I mean, obviously playing them this year and doing the thing that we did, just in the fashion that we did, was awesome. And ending of the game like that was great. But yeah, they have great players as well, great team, great coaches. Harvard's in Boston too, which is like one of the nicest areas in the world. So obviously they got a lot of good players, good team. And they'll be good again next year. They're good every single year. So
yeah.
What is the biggest facility difference that you saw from South Carolina to Yale?
I think the biggest thing from South Carolina to Yale is just the accessibility, like where everything is. Like at Yale, we have everything or most of the things that South Carolina has. It's just all in you have to
spread out.
Like a 2-minute walk. Yeah, the bowl's 1 minute walk from the weight room, and then the weight room's like a 1 minute walk to the facility. We have a brand new $50 million facility they just built. It's like one of the nicest in the Northeast, so it's awesome. But I think at South Carolina, the only thing that was different is everything was connected. So you could go from the weight room to the indoor to the meeting rooms and not step outside. So I think that was one. But everything here, we have a great weight room, unbelievable facilities. Obviously, our Yale Bowl is historic, and the new facility we just built, obviously, it's great too.
Dope.
So you said you're playing Bozeman, playing the Bobcats was the first time in Montana. What were your thoughts? And then also a second question to that is like, have you been anywhere else over here? Seattle, Idaho, California, Oregon, anywhere?
Yeah, well, obviously, I was in LA for the Elite 11. That's one time I was like out
Right.
the West Coast.
Right.
But yeah, dude, Montana was awesome. Like that game was the atmosphere in that game. It was like an SEC
Special.
game. Like it felt
Special.
the same. Like the obviously I think it was 30,000 maybe they had in there. Maybe it's a little more, a little
less than that. We're not going to give them that, but it's loud.
Yeah, it was because like the sideline where we were sitting, like they were like right on top of us.
Yeah, right.
So it got super loud, especially on third downs.
Yeah.
So it was a great experience. Those fans were awesome. We were there. I mean, nobody had any complaints for the fans. Like they weren't like going crazy or nothing like that. But yeah, it was awesome. It was a really cool experience to be there, and just being in that atmosphere was awesome. Just play a football game. It was cool.
Yeah. It's crazy that you say that because people have said that about Washington Grizzly for a long time. And I feel like Washington and Bobcat Stadium they don't have as many as Wa Grizz. Wa Grizz is obviously better, but they're both very similar and they both get very, very loud. And it's crazy because a lot of people who have experienced an SEC stadium will say that Wa Grizz or Bobcat Stadium is similar to an SEC stadium. Like the crowd's not as big, but they are as loud.
No, they were. I mean, they were standing the whole entire game. Like they weren't sitting down. Like offense would be on the field, they'd be standing like the whole game. And then they played like I don't even know some Bearcat like on like third down or something like that. It was like, and then the fans started roaring. Like it was a really cool experience. Yeah,
the Bearcat. Oh man, we are eating this up.
They're eating it up because they find a way to like have these. And then we got to see Sam played 16 to 21. Sam.
Yeah, 16 to 21, yeah.
And then I was 15 to 18. So we got to see the rise of this program, like Montana State. And it was not always – they were always had fans, but it wasn't what it is now. And so, they're riding their high, and they should. But it's at our expense because we're like, oh, man, we got to see our rivals win. That sucks. What is something you thought you were really good at in high school that you quickly realized you needed to improve on once you got to college?
Speed. I think obviously in high school you're like one of the fastest guys in the field, especially at quarterback, and you're running around everybody. Then you get to college, especially at South Carolina, I was like,
oh my gosh,
like these are fast. And obviously in the FCS, like similar dudes, they're fast as well. So I think just speed. I've worked on a lot this offseason, was just speed and agility. Was huge.
I couldn't even imagine coming from a private school in Connecticut to going to South Carolina and just like those dudes in the SEC are freaks, literally. And like just to stand out there and like, you try to get around the edge one time, like you used to do in high school, and you're like, oh wait, like, nah.
They're different. They're different.
I mean, there was like a couple pass rushers in the draft that ran like 4.3, 4.4.
Yeah.
Like that's there's some people that you're like, you look at them and you see them run and you're like, God put you on this earth to do exactly what you're about to do and go make some money chasing some quarterbacks. So insane.
Let's get into these fun questions, Keenan. If you were commissioner of college football for one day, what's the first thing you'd change?
Commissioner of college football for one day?
Yeah. You can change anything. You can make the game 5 quarters. You can, make reviews. You can review any play. They got the super review in the UFL. You can do what would you change?
I think I would change what's that field goal thing they do in the UFL?
The 4-point field goal.
Yeah,
past
I would
60
put
yards.
that in. That would be cool. Like,
you think any college kickers can hit? A lot of college kickers can hit 60?
Our kicker kicked like a 56-yarder last year.
Okay.
Ivy League is gonna have some good kickers, dog. I'm telling you, bro. These are soccer players that just are like, let me go kick.
Okay. Yeah, our kicker was like a Adidas All-American coming out of high school. Like super nice kid, Noah Piper. He hit like a 56-yarder last year, just like with like 10 yards to go.
Ooh.
Yes.
That would be a good rule. I actually love that rule in the UFL. I mean, if you're hitting 60, that 3 doesn't feel like enough. Like, I just hit a 60-yarder. Are we kidding?
Crazy, yeah.
Here's a fun question that we don't have on here, but because I know the demographic of the Ivy, do you think there's any lacrosse players at Yale that could also play football?
Yeah, I think there's obviously they're all good athletes. And lacrosse here is insane. Like these athletes on the lacrosse team are great. And some of my friends from high school play lacrosse at different Ivy League schools. So I think they could play easy. I know like there's one kid that plays at Notre Dame, Matt Jeffrey, who I kind of grew up with around Connecticut. He plays football and lacrosse there. So
Wow.
I think a lot of the kids here could play both, especially at a skill position.
Yeah, man. West Coast is sleep on lacrosse. There's not a lot of lacrosse programs out here.
No.
But like I know the type of body. It's really like hockey and football together,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Literally, yeah. Tough kids.
What's one thing fans don't understand about the transfer portal?
I think that every kid like is gonna find a home, and that's not true. Like, there's so many kids in the portal now that are just sitting there like have nowhere to go. So I think that's like a big thing that people don't realize, that like just because you go in the portal, like most kids like go in the portal and know where they're already going.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big like misconception where people think that like, oh, he's gonna go in the portal, he's gonna go to this school. Like, no, like some kids don't have a place to go. Like, and that's just the way the portal is now. It's just it's wild. Literally, it's crazy.
So what was that like for you? Because obviously you're coming off your freshman year. You were the lead 11 quarterback. So I think you're still highly coveted, only one year removed from that. But, you know, you don't have any film, any game film at that. Like, was it kind of nervous for you to enter in there?
Yeah, it was a little bit, obviously. And you get in there, you're like, what's going to happen? But then obviously you get some coaches calling and people calling, so that's a little different. But yeah, for some people, it's like they don't have any game film. They've been in school for 3 years. Like, and some people don't really want to transfer down. Like, they don't want to go somewhere less than what they were. But the biggest thing for me was like being able to play, and I think that's the way people do it now. Is you got to go somewhere and you got to play. That's going to change your whole experience.
I do want to get into that though. So, was it kind of humbling for you to go? You're at the SEC. A lot of you, just like you just said, a lot of guys don't want to go down to the FCS. They see it as lesser than. It's not, FBS football, all that stuff. Was it kind of humbling for you? Or obviously you had a dad who coached at that level, so you've seen this level of football and you understand what it is.
Yeah.
What was that mentally for you?
Yeah, I think going to a school like that, you think like you're the man in high school, and you go to South Carolina, and you're like, oh my, like these dudes they're great. And the starting quarterback there, Lenore Sellers, is one of my best friends to this day. Like, he'll be at my wedding and he'll do all that stuff for me because we just had a great relationship. Same with the other guys that were in the room as well, like Robbie Ashford. He started at Wake Forest last year. Davis Bevel, who was also in our room, he played in like the Texas-Oklahoma game. He started that game when he was at Oklahoma.
Wow.
Luke Doty, who started at South Carolina for 3 years. Like, there's so many guys that was in our room that were great for me, great mentors. But yeah, it's definitely humbling. And it just teaches you to like take a step back and kind of just like learn the game of football, and then try and get on the field rather than just like trying to go play as soon as you can. Like, it's just so hard.
Yeah.
Man, I feel you on that. What does a typical day in Dante Reno's life look like during the season?
The season, so we wake up, we have meetings in the morning, and then we go to class throughout the whatever that is, like the block from like 10 to 2. And then we come back at 2:33. We have practice, and then after practice, we'll have like a team dinner, team meal in the facility in our like little cafeteria area we have. Then we'll usually grab the receivers, go watch a little tape on like Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Mondays, I take the O-line out to dinner. After the game, and then Thursdays, usually kind of a chiller day. Like, we don't really kind of front load a lot of film on Fridays and Thursdays just because you don't want to be thinking too much in the game.
Yeah.
So we'll kind of like relax and like we'll go like play. We'll in the receiver, we have a big like game room. We'll go like play Xbox or something like that just to kind of hang out, be around the guys. So yeah.
Wow, I like that.
Yeah, that's dope.
What does success look like for you personally over the next few years at Yale?
Personally, I think obviously being the best teammate I can be, that comes first, and being the best leader I can be for the guys on the team. And my dad used to always say, like, leave the jersey better than you found it. So, like, however I found my jersey now, like, make sure whoever gets that next is gonna remember like how the standards are, how we're supposed to do stuff here. So I think that's a huge thing for me. And obviously winning, you want to win as much as you can, and the goal is to win national championship every single year. So I think that for us now, it's like, how are we going to get there? Or what are the steps that we need to take to get there? But that's all comes through the process and the day-to-day work. And everybody says it, but it's really true. Like, the people that believe it are usually the people that come out on top. So I think just for me personally, just getting better as I can as a player, realizing my weaknesses and attacking those.
Nice. Well, we always ask this last question, and then we'll kind of leave you. If you could talk to your younger self and give him a message from your perspective right now, what would you tell him?
Just live in the moment. Like life goes by so fast, and so many things happen. Like it's just way different. Like my life now compared to last year's like completely changed. Like it's just whether it was football, life, school, family, like everything's just different. So I think the biggest thing is like live in the moment. Like you're gonna look at yourself in like 10 years and want to be back in like the same exact spot. Like you're gonna want to do like a podcast interview. Like you're gonna want to do all that stuff when you're playing. Like it's just everything, like every little thing that you don't realize when you're playing because you're so caught up in like what do I got to do next? Like I got to go to this. I got class. I got this. Like nah, just like be and like enjoy life. Like that's the biggest thing I would tell myself back then that I kind of realize now.
So one more I got for you before we get out of here. What are your hobbies? What do you do outside of football? You talk about, enjoying life. So what do you do to enjoy it outside of the game?
Yeah, me and the guys, we go golfing a lot.
Okay.
Just played yesterday with my brother. He's gonna be a high school senior now. He's like 6'3", 220 linebacker.
Okay.
So he's gonna recruited by a lot of schools, but played with him yesterday. I played with we had a couple of DBs. Abu, our captain, he likes to play golf as well. So we got a group of like 8 or 9 guys that like to play in the summer. So we'll either go play golf, we'll go to the lake. I live on a lake back at home, so we'll go in the lake, go to the beach with the guys. And then I think a cool thing here at Yale is like we go out to eat a lot as like a group of guys. So like every week we try and find like new guys to go out to eat and like hang out with and do random stuff with, like go golf, go play like go shoot hoops, like just do stuff as like guys to like kind of like just gel as a team. So I think that's a big thing for me, just hanging around different types of guys and learning their stories.
What's your handicap?
I was going to ask, what's the best? Who on the team has the best handicap? So follow up to that.
Best handicap, maybe this kid James Cave is pretty good. He's like one of our ends, big kid from Texas. And then probably one of our receivers, Curran, he also plays golf. Well, he caddies back home, so it's not really fair. He knows exactly what to hit, when to hit. Like I'm like, dude, it's not. And then we have this kid from Tennessee who's pretty good as well. He drives the ball like he like drive like 350, 400 the other day. We're like, dude, he's like so strong. Squats like 700 pounds. So yeah, golf's like a fun and nobody's really like, great at it. So like we're all out there and like losing balls left and right. It's just fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's fun.
Nice. Sam's got to get into it. I golf.
Yeah, I am not a golfer, man, at all. My game is dog shit.
No judgment. You just got to go out there and have fun. That's what it is.
Well, appreciate you so much for jumping on with us, man. I can't thank you enough, man. Thank you. I know you're super busy. I appreciate you jumping on with us, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no, thank you guys for having me. It was awesome.